I've always told in the class about root mean square value. IRMS. I RMS is known as root mean square value, and ERMS is known as root mean square value of EMF. And the relation between that is IRMS equal to I naught by root 2, and ERMS is always E naught by root 2. You know what is I naught? It's the peak current. In the graph, if they give you like this, I naught is this is what is I naught, and this is what is E naught, the peak values. Okay, so the IRMS value will be lesser than I naught by this relationship. So in a numerical, they'll ask you to find. In reality, IRMS stands for root mean square value, which means they give you I1 is equal to 2 amps, I2 is equal to 4 amps, and I3 is equal to 6 amps or something like that. It's root of 2 square plus 4 square plus 6 square by 3. Root is there, mean is there, square is there. So just like this is what is root mean square value. In fact, they will give you in a graph. Okay, they'll give you a graph like this, something like this. There will be this will be one. Um, um, this could be half minus half, and this could be one or something like that. So you know that you should take the magnitudes of the current, because anyway when you square it, the negatives also will become positive. You will take what is this is I1, this before a 0 to 1 amp, 1 to 2, 1 to 2 second, 2 to 3 seconds. The current is alternating and it's pulsating like this. Just put these values and square it and divide it by 3. If there are 4 signals, put divided by 4, depending on how much our time is there. So you understood what is a simple RMS value mean. But however, there is a relation which is called IRMS equal to I naught by root 2. We'll come to that derivation. So this is one numerical which will come as one more question about RMS value using a graph, or even they will give you the values of the currents. The second thing is this derivation. Average value of an AC over one complete cycle is always 0. An alternative current is like this, right? Over one complete cycle means 0 to 2 pi. The average value of this current is always 0. Mathematically, we have to prove that the average value of alternative current over one complete cycle is 0. It will come as an MCQ. The average value of current over one complete cycle is dash, is going to be 0. You know that because and this will be plus 1 amp, this is minus 1 amp. Okay, polarity is changing. How to prove that? There's a way to prove that. You know, this is I naught, right? And you know I is equal to I naught sine omega t. Okay, so now you want to find what is the charge. I is equal to dq by dt is equal to I naught. Okay, so I naught, I is dq by dt, I naught sine omega t, which means the dt can go to the other side. So you got I naught sine omega t into dt. Now you can integrate both sides. When you integrate, you will get what is dq, which is what is charge. In integrate dq, you get the total charge. Okay, so you get the charge q, and integration of sine omega t, you know, is minus cos omega t by, oh yes, excellent, minus cos omega t by omega, integrated over entire time period, which is 0 to 2 pi or 0 to capital T. Okay, so if I put 0 to capital T, then I have to write T as capital T and omega as 2 pi by capital T. So T and T will get cancelled. Cos 2 pi will be cos 0's value, which is 1, correct? Upper limit minus lower limit. Okay, so let's continue to do that. So you get q is equal to, let's, omega itself is 2 pi by capital T. Substituting that, you get I naught into t by 2 pi. Omega is 2 pi by capital T, reciprocal here. And so then you have a minus cos omega t. Cos omega is 2 pi by capital T into capital T, where T and T gets cancelled, minus cos 0, lower limit, minus cos, okay, minus of minus cos 0, correct? Cos 0 itself is 1, and so minus of minus 1 plus 1. So this is cos 2 pi, which is minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 will become 0. So then therefore the charge flowing through itself becomes 0. The average value of current over in one complete cycle is I average is equal to q by t, and therefore q by capital time period, therefore it will become 0. Are you clear? So what are we doing? I is equal to I naught sin omega t from the graph. Then write I as dq by dt and take the dt to the other side and integrate. While integrating, when you put for entire time period, it is just becoming 0. Are you clear? So this is one proof that they will ask. The next is I'll teach you the derivation for mean or average value. I average. It's called IAVE. AVE means I average. It's also known as mean value. Mean value of current or average value of current. Okay, and there is something called RMS value of current. You know, root mean square value. What is the meaning of this RMS value and this mean value? Okay, so let's talk about RMS value first. Let me teach you what is root mean square value of current. It is that current which produces the same amount of heat as an AC would, because a DC would, because this is an AC. So in order to compare what could be the current, we're comparing with the DC, because a DC is going to flow like this, direct current, unidirectional. A DC current is like this. If it's not if it is fluctuating, it's good, but it will not come to the negative side. It will not be positive. This is known as this is one DC only. Okay, so the DC, when you compare it with an AC, you see for half the cycle, both of them are same. Only this part is different in an AC. So the scientists, what they did to understand an alternative current, they took a DC current and analyzed it for half the time period, T by 2. So it is how much heat is produced. It is that same amount of heat is getting produced when you pass a DC into a circuit and pass an AC into a circuit. It is the same amount of heat that gets produced in the circuit. That value of current is known as RMS value. So RMS value is based on heat produced. Heat produced with respect to DC for half the time period. That's also very critical. For half the time period. These are very, very keywords. Okay, important. So in a circuit, we are passing a DC. We are passing an AC. For half the time period, how much heat would have been produced by a DC? The same amount of heat would be produced by AC. And that value of current is what is called IRMS. In fact, to define it, they would say it's defined as the value of the direct current, which produces the same heating effect in a given wire as produced by the alternative current when passed through for the same time. But we are taking it as T by 2. Okay, for the same time. It produces same amount of heat for the same time. So that's about it. That's a definition. Please write it. And to get that, so in order to get the IRMS value, you have to do based on heat produced. So what is heat produced formula? Okay, so instead of H is equal to I square RT, you write DH is equal to I square is nothing but I naught sin omega t. So I naught square sin square omega t into R into dt. In R is anyway a constant in a resistor. So you can take I naught square and R outside. Correct? So it's I naught square and R can be taken outside, and you have integration of sin square omega t dt. Correct? Is that current for a time period 0 to capital T. So then you know you can't integrate sin square theta directly. You have to do 1 minus cos double the angle by 2. 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. You didn't see my integration videos? You must see the basics of integration. So integration of sin square theta is actually 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. This is a formula. Okay, sin square theta is 1 minus cos double angle by 2 into dt, integrate from 0 to capital T. So now let's write this I naught square R. So it will become...
Integration of sin square is minus cos
theta. No. First of all, in order to integrate a square value, you can't integrate a square value directly. You know, integration is just the reverse of differentiation. In differentiation, you don't get sin square theta. Differentiation of sin theta is cos theta. Differentiation of cos theta is sin theta, minus sin theta. Linear. So to convert into linear, you have to use this formula, 1 minus cos double angle by 2. You mug up this. Since you are a non-max student, you have to mug it up. So then it gets broken down into a 1 by 2 into 1 dt minus another 1 by 2. Actually, 1 by 2 can be taken out common. Forget about 1 by 2. This 2 can be taken out common. So it will be integration of 1 dt minus integration of cos 2 omega t dt. Integrate from 0 to capital T and 0 to capital T, and a whole bracket will come here. Correct? Now, this is I naught by 2R. Integration of 1 dt is just capital T. And integration of cos to omega t. Integration of cos is sine. You know, it's sine to omega t by omega. Cos, sine, integration of cos theta. But here you have chain rule. will be by 2 omega. Cos 2 omega t when integrate will become sin 2 omega t by 2 omega. What is the coefficient of t? That has to be divided. That's called chain rule. So once you do that, when you integrate this for 0 to capital T, you know omega is 2 pi by capital T and T will get cancelled and you'll get something called even integrals, which is x-axis, in which sign is always 0. So you only have this part, which is actually I naught square by 2 into R T. By definition, you already know it's heat produced.
Yes, ma'am.
Heat produces I square RT, right? So which is a I RMS square RT, because as per definition, it's a heat produced. So I RMS square RT. And you know T is not T, T is for half the, we have to suppose study for the half the time period. Not for the full, you are not supposed to, because the whole time period current will become 0. So we are not supposed to, we have to check for half the time period, correct? So it will become T by 2, so it will become T by 4.
But in the definition, they have given for the particular time period.
For a particular time period, we are taking it as half the time period, because we know it's similar only for half the time period. So you know, by definition, it's IRMS R into T by 2 is equal to I naught square by 4 into R into T. T and T get cancelled, R and R get cancelled, 2 and 4 get cancelled. Thus IRMS is I naught by root 2. You understand? I forgot that's half the time period for some reason. Full time period we can never put. Full time period if you put, you know that the current value will become 0.
Magnitude will change.
We just saw it, previous derivation.
Yes, ma'am.
For full time
Current will
period, the current will become 0. So we have to take only for half the time period and do this. And are you clear? And it's 1 by root 2. What is 1 by root 2 is nothing but 0.707 I naught. 1 by 1.414 is 0.707. So this is what is called IRMS and I naught relationship. Children will tend to forget this. That by definition and equate it to what has been integrated. Are you clear? Play it again and try to understand. I'm going to anyway teach you in the class, next class. I'm just giving you upfront now. That's all. There's nothing that you have to learn with the video. I'll always do it in the class again. Okay, but since you need it urgently, I'm recording and giving. So next is average value. I average. An average value is based on charge flowing. They allow DC to flow and monitored how much charge is flowing. The same amount of charge has to flow when an AC is also passed through. That value is known as average value.
That
Okay.
comparing
Com-
here we're comparing the
Charges.
charge.
So this is based on charge. For again, let's keep it as half the time period for now. Let's assume it as half the. They will say for a specific time period, but you know that it's for half time period. So an I average is based on the charge flowing in a circuit when you pass a DC for half the time period as an AC would, or AC as a DC would, interchangeable. So then therefore you're going to, this is based on charge. And what do you know about charge? Charge is I is equal to Q by T. Q is equal to I into T. So Q I naught sine omega T dq and dt. So you write this. Okay, this is only linear. The advantage in here is just this is linear. An integration of sine omega t, it's for half the time period, don't forget. Because full time period, then it will become 0. Now you have mastered it. So then half the time period, integration of sine omega t is minus cos omega t by omega. Omega, the coefficient of t, not with the t. Okay, the coefficient of t is just omega. There it was 2 omega. Okay, integrate from 0 to t by 2. You know, you can write this as 2 pi by capital T. Correct? So it will become minus I naught t by 2 pi. And the upper limit is cos omega is 2 pi by capital T, and the small t is t by 2. T and t get cancelled, cos pi. And cos pi itself is minus 1. Minus lower limit is cos 0. So it's minus 1 minus 1. It will be minus 2. So minus of minus will become plus. I naught by 2 pi into t into 2. Correct? So thus I'll get 2 and 2 is getting cancelled. This by definition is the charge flowing. Q is equal to I into T. But I is nothing but I average. Correct? Into T is nothing but T by 2. T and T gets cancelled. So I average is equal to 2 by pi of I naught. What is 2 by pi? Is 0.637 of I naught. This is what is I average. Okay, after this I'll teach there so that those girls and Chettinad also learns. But now we'll record so that it's very hard. It's not as easy because especially for you, you don't know integration. You're like slightly blinking also. Okay, so let's go to that's done. Root mean square value also I've taught you. Um, okay, this is a sum. Like example 3, sorry. Example 3 in Aurora, where they have marked current and an x-axis. This is plus 2a and a minus 2a. The graph goes like this, like a pulse, yeah, and it's like this. Okay, then obviously they're asking you to calculate IRMS value in this alternative current. So you know this is 2 and 2, not minus 2, because when you square it is anyway I1 square, root of I1 square plus I2 square plus I3 square by 3. So it's root of 2 square plus 2 square plus 2 square, correct? 4 plus 4 plus 4 for 3 are 12 by 3. So 4, and so answer will be 2 amps. Are you clear? That this kind of sums will come as a 1 mark question, that's always there. Okay. So next is an electrical main in a house are marked 220 volts. Electrical main is 220 volts, 50 hertz, which means obviously it's an AC. Correct? Write down the equation of instantaneous voltage. Instantaneous voltage E is equal to E naught sine omega t. Correct? And you know, E naught is the maximum value of current, and the frequency has been given. And what else is given? E naught 220 volts has been given. That is ERMS. Okay, you know E naught, ERMS is equal to E naught by root 2. So E naught is equal to root 2 times ERMS. So root 2 times ERMS into sine omega t. Correct? Omega itself is 2 pi mu, where mu itself is 50 hertz. So it's 100 pi radians per second because it's omega. So let's plug it in. E naught, this is 220 sine 100 pi into small t, right? That's all. So we have written this. Is it correct? 100 pi, they have written as 3.14 into 100. So that will become 300 into t. So they've written they are multiplying 1.4 and 4 to, they're just calculating, that's all. So this is fine. Okay, and then multiplying 3.14 with 100 and writing the final answer. So this is how you write an instantaneous voltages or instantaneous current also for that matter. So what is that you should know is E naught bala, you should write root 2 times ERMS. Okay, so then second question is the peak value of alternative current applied to a 50 ohm resistor. So there is a resistor of 50 ohms and there's a voltage of 10 volts. Find the RMS current. So IRMS is what they are asking. If the voltage frequency is 100 hertz, you don't want frequency, you only need omega, which is 2 pi mu, which is 2 into 3.14 into 100. So this will become 314, and 4 to 8, 2 ones are 2, 3 to 628 radians per second is what you get. And then here is IRMS, they're asking, you know, IRMS is I naught by root 2. Coming back to this sum, you don't have this is purely resistor. Okay, in this previous sum, they had given for 220 volts, and you know it was an AC. In this one, they've given, you have to find the peak value, find the RMS value. The peak value of an alternative current applied to, 10 volts is peak value. I'm sorry. This is E naught. The 10 volts that they've given in that sum is actually a peak value which is passed on to 50 ohm resistor. You know E naught, you can find ERMS. Okay, so you know ERMS is equal to E naught by root 2, which is 10 by root 2 volts is my ERMS. Okay, once you know ERMS, you know IRMS is equal to ERMS by R. That's all. Here there's only a resistor. Therefore, you can write only that. So ERMS itself is 10 by root 2 times R is 50. So it's 1 by 5 root 2. Correct? This is my IRMS. If they want I naught, root 2 into IRMS, because IRMS is I naught by root 2. So then it's root 2 into 1 by 5 root 2. So this and this get cancelled, 1 by 5 amps. You might think, why are you doing all this? I would rather do I naught is what I want, which is E naught by R. Directly I will do. Why are you touching your nose like that? You know E naught, because E naught is already been given. This has also been given. So you can write the same answer 10 by 50 and you'll still get the same answer.
But
You
is-
don't have to do all this.
is IRMS and I not same?
IRMS and I naught are not the same. I am finding I naught
Oh,
using E naught.
Yes.
And E naught has already been given, R has been given. Why do I need to find ERMS unnecessarily? Don't you think
Because we have written ERMS.
IRMS is equal to ERMS by R? I naught is equal to E naught by R. You can directly use this formula. You don't have to do this that I have done. It's like touching the nose in roundabout way. When it's a purely resistive circuit, you
I
can
not by E not by
direct,
R, yes.
correct? So let's go to next question. I'm just showing you how I can also mess up and do it a bit, but longer. But still, I get the right answer. But you can also think. Next is the fourth question. An alternative current is given by an equation I is equal to I1 sin omega t plus I2 cos omega t. Find the RMS value of the current. Okay, so this is like this. You should know mathematics. Then you should be very strong in mathematics. Then only you can do this sum. சரி நீ இப்போ தப்பானாலும் பரவாயில்ல நீ இந்த சம் ட்ரை பண்ண சொல்கிறேன் அதனால ஐ வாண்ட் டு ட்ரை இன் ஃப்ரண்ட் ஆஃப் யூ அண்ட் சி இஃப் ஐம் கோயிங் ராங் ஐம் கோயிங் ராங் இட்ஸ் ஓகே ஸோ இது பார்த்தோன்னே மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் இங்கே சைன் ஒமேகா டி இருந்ததுன்னா இங்கே காஸ் பக்கத்தில் இருக்கலாம் இங்கே காஸ் ஒமேகா டி இருந்தால் இங்கே சைன் ஸோ தட் வில் பி லைக் சைன் ஏ காஸ் பி ப்ளஸ் காஸ் ஏ சைன் பி மாதிரி இருக்கலாம் ஸோ அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னு பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஐ எம் சிம்பிளி ரைட்டிங் அஸ் காஸ் தீட்டா சைன் ஒமேகா டி ப்ளஸ் சைன் தீட்டா காஸ் ஒமேகா டி விச் மீன்ஸ் ஐ இட் செல்ஃப் இஸ் சைன். Okay, but when you do that, you should make sure that you are writing it as r cos theta and this as r sin theta, just to show some amplitude with that coefficient. So then therefore this will be r can be completely taken out common, sin omega t plus theta will come. Now you take this, what is I1? R cos theta. What is I2? R sin theta. Take it and you, what happened? This is r sin theta, correct? Take those and square it, okay? So this is I1 square, which is r square cos square theta. I2 square, which is r square sin square theta. So you'll get 2i square is equal to 2, just r square sin square theta plus cos square theta is 1. So root 2i is equal to resultant amplitude, correct? And so oh, this is, first of all, this is I1 and this is I2. I can't add it like this. It will become I1 square plus I2 square is equal to R square. Correct?
Yes.
And so then therefore I1 square plus I2 square is equal to R square is what I am getting. So the R, which is the resultant amplitude, is root of I1 square plus I2 square is the resultant amplitude. When these two superimpose, this is how you find the resultant amplitude. Purida? These are superimposing graphs. One is sine, other is cos with a different amplitudes. So you found the resultant amplitude using this theory in mathematical theory as to how we can convert into one sine function and find the amplitude. R is equal to root of I1 square plus I2 square. So once you get the resultant amplitude, you can write the current value with the resultant amplitude now. Current value is I is equal to I naught, which is nothing but the resultant amplitude. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
R is nothing but peak value, resultant amplitude, which is a root of I1 square plus I2 square sin omega t plus theta. What we got? We got R and we are substituting here. Super.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
This is the way I would do the sum. I have not seen what Aurora has done. He has done it differently. My mind will not even go to his method because I am also strong in mathematics. So then therefore I would assume this is r cos theta, this is r sin theta. So that is the form sin A cos B plus cos A sin B. So you take r out, which will be the resultant amplitude. How to find r? Just take these assumptions, square both sides, and take this assumption, square both sides, and add. You get r. Plug it in r. That's all. So you get, this is your resultant value of the current, and which is I is equal to root of I1 square plus I square sin omega t plus phi. And so this is what I get. From here, what do I understand? This is my
Peak value.
I naught. And you want IRMS is I naught by root 2. So root of I1 square plus I2 square by root 2. Or within full root, you can write I1 square plus I2 square by 2. How did I teach? Is it so beautiful, right? It's a phenomenal way of writing, and thus you find such a beautiful sum. These are all generally asked only in JEE mains. This is a JEE main question. But my approach is completely different. I am not copying anything from Aurora. Chumma try, you will get it. This mathematically you should be little strong for it. That's all. You need it anyway for wave optics. Whatever I'm teaching now, exactly the same thing I'll do till the end. For me, whenever I see sin A cos B cos, this thing means I'll always do this. Okay, so be strong in that, and let's go to the fifth question. Fifth question: electric current in a circuit is given by I is equal to I naught into T by something. I don't know. Okay, something like this has been given to for some time. Can the RMS current for period? Calculate the RMS current, IRMS, for a period t is equal to 0 to t is equal to some that to Madri Pottuka. I don't know what it is. Okay, the mean square current for this time period is what we have to find. Okay, and these are all entrance question, not for boards. Okay, so then uh, mean, they're asking for IRMS value. They're asking for IRMS value. IRMS value is root of squares of the current by the mean.
Yes,
Correct?
number of current.
Logically, that's what it is. Correct? So when you put um, it's very hard, but just listen. Mean square root mean square value. Okay, which means there's going to be a root and there's going to be a mean, which means dividing by 2 is going to happen.
Yes.
And all the values of the current has to be squared. The values of the current is this I naught square into T by pi. Correct? So it will become I naught square into T by pi the whole square. This whole thing is what is root mean square value. It makes sense.
Yes.
And not only that, this needs to be integrated over the entire time period, because it's not I1, I2, I3. You don't know what is T1, T2, T3.
I
Correct?
don't know what time period.
Correct? So then therefore you're going to integrate it for the whole
Whole
time
time
period.
period.
Let's assume like that. You can't have a root and then integration. So this is nothing but IRMS. So can we square both sides? So then if I square both sides, I'll get IRMS square, so that I can eliminate the root.
Root.
So it will become integration of I naught square into T by pi the whole square.
square.
And a 1 by T can be taken out, and I have to put the dt, because when integration is there, T is going to be integrated over the entire time period. So dt is always
You have to
exist.
add it.
Yeah. So then from here, if you see, it's for a time period of 0 to some tau was given, some kind of a tau was given. Correct? So we haven't even integrated it, and I know I naught square is just a constant, so I can take it out. So I naught square by capital T can be taken out. This pi square also can be taken out. So you will have a t square into dt, which will become t cube by 3.
Yes, ma'am.
T cube by 3, correct? So then T cube by 3, and it's integrated from 0 to capital T. So it's I naught square by T pi square into T cube by 3. Minus 0 will become anyway 0. T and T square add on. Correct? So I'll get I naught square T square by 3 pi square. I naught square tau. Sorry, that's not T, no, that's tau. This capital T is for the entire time period. This is also for tau only. All this capital T is just this T only. It's not tau, it's capital T. Okay, so I am supposed to get an answer to be I naught square and a root 3. And the pi square is coming for us. Where did the pi square come from for us? The T by pi. It came from,
Taken the pi form.
they have not, where is pi? Taken it as 3.
And we can just write tau square.
Yeah, so this is not, it's a capital T. According to question, it's capital T. Okay, so this is capital T. So it's T square by, this capital T square is constant, so it'll become T cube, right? At the denominator, it'll become T cube, it will become T cube, T square and capital T. And T cube by 3 is also there. Correct?
Yes.
It's not, there's nothing called pi square. I'm sorry, there's nothing called pi square. And so what happens here is I naught square by T cube, okay, into, this will become T cube by 3. T cube and T cube get cancelled. I naught square by 3 is what is IRMS square. Therefore, IRMS itself is I naught by root 3. Root 3 here. I naught by root 3 in this sum, because they already given this.
Yes, ma'am. So
You understand? I'm teaching you so well. Root, mean, square value. So this has been squared, and you don't know the time. So integrating over with the
Whole
dt
time period.
for a whole time period, tau which has been given from 0 to tau t is what they are given. So in doing so, you get it. Are you clear? This is only for entrance exam preparation, not this whole thing is not for board preparation. It's all for entrance exam preparation. So let's go to next question. Example 6. If the effective value of the current is 50 hertz, so frequency is 50 hertz. Okay, and the current is 5 amps. What is the peak value of the current? The mean value of the current over half the say I average. And the value of current in 1 by 300 second after it was 0. After it was 0. These are all only entrance questions. This will never be asked in school exams. So example 9 in Aurora. 100 hertz is the frequency of an AC.
Flowing in a inductor of 14 milliamp millihenry.
Millihenry. Microhenry?
And one
Microhenry. So 14 into 10 to the power minus 6 Henry is the inductor's value. Inductor's value means it's L.
They asked XL.
XL is equal to L omega, inductive reactance, which is L is 14 into 10 to the power minus 6 into 2 pi into 100. Just find this value and write it in ohms, because I told you an inductor or a capacitor, the XL or XC offers impedance, which inductive reactance, same as the resistance. So you have to write answer in ohms. Okay, so let's go to next question. Fast.
They have given an inductor of 25 millihertz, microhertz.
Inductor of 2.5 25 milli. M small m na milli, micro நீ எடுத்துக்கிற, மைக்ரோனா இப்படி இருக்கும். ஸோ இந்த முந்தின கொஸ்டின்ல கூட இட்ஸ் ஒன்லி மில்லி நாட் மைக்ரோ. புரியுதா? 10 to the power minus 3 மில்லினா. Okay, so 25 millihenry. Millihenry na 25 into 10 to the power minus 3 Henry. L has been given. What is that?
220 volts.
Source one has got a voltage of 220 volts.
They have asked to find inductive reactance and IRMS.
XL and IRMS. XL is nothing but L omega.
They have given the frequency as 50 hertz.
Frequency is 50 hertz. So you know straight away L is nothing but 25 into 10 to the power minus 3 and omega is 2 pi into mu is 50. Just calculate it and write it in ohms. Then they are asking for IRMS. When they give you purely inductive, IRMS is just thing but ERMS by
XL.
IRMS is ERMS by R, or in this case there's only inductor. So you can write it as XL. Okay, whatever is the given value, take it as ERMS. When they give a voltage like this, an inductor like this, the given value can be taken unless they specify it as peak value. You can take it as RMS value. So 220 by this can be plugged in here, XL, and then find the IRMS value in ampere. Next question.
They have given an inductor of inductance 1 Henry.
Inductance L is equal to 1 Henry.
What will be the frequency if it has a reactance of 3000?
Reactance is XL. Inductive reactance, okay,
Of
is 3142 ohms. Okay.
What will be the capacity of the capacitor which has the same reactance at that frequency? If a capacitor is connected, they're asking what will be the reactance?
A coil has an inductor of 1 Henry. At what frequency will it have a reactance? So first let's find this. At what frequency? You know, XL itself has been given. Is L omega. XL itself 3142 is equal to L itself is 1 omega. What is the frequency? Oh, so then write it as 2 pi mu and find what is mu.
Frequency.
So you will get the answer in terms of hertz. Just verify that. Okay, next what is that they're asking? What should be the capacity of the capacitor which has the same capacitive reactance? Same reactance means capacitive reactance at that frequency. So same frequency is valid. You got a frequency here, right? What is the value of frequency that they are writing finally? 500 hertz. Huh? They got it as 500. When they calculate, you get 500 hertz. Take that frequency. That should be same frequency in XC. XC is 1 by C omega. And what should be the capacitance is what they're asking. So it should have XC and XL should be the same, which can be taken as same 3142. The same inductance,
Yes, ma'am.
same reactance. So 3142 is 1 by C into that omega is nothing but whatever you get here, 2 pi mu. 500. 2 pi into 500. So then cross multiply and you get the value of C. So let's go to next question. And you should write again. You're getting C, then you have to write farad.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so because we are finding the capacitance, so it can convert into microfarad. That's what they have done. So let's go to example 12.
They have given an ideal inductor of 5 by 5 Henry,
Ideal inductor
5 by 5 Henry,
5 by pi Henry.
connected to source of 200 volt.
So source normally we can take it as ERMS 200 volt and frequency is 50 hertz AC supply.
They have asked IRMS and I naught
IRMS and I naught
in the inductor.
in the inductor. Okay, an ideal inductor. Okay, so as usual, IRMS is nothing but IRMS is equal to ERMS by inductor only, no? So it's XL. So ERMS is 200 into L into omega. Oh, they have given 5 by pi Henry. L itself is 5 by pi. So 200 by 5 by pi. And omega itself is 2 pi into 50. So is that what they have done? And so then this will become 100 and this will become 2. So it's 2 by pi and pi get cancelled. 2 by 5, yeah. Yeah, which is 0.4 amps. So thus we get IRMS. What else they want? I naught is root 2 times IRMS. IRMS is I naught by root 2. So root 2 times IRMS. So root 2 into 0.4. Next.
They have given an alternating EMF.
As example 12.
They have given an EMF of 220 sine
EMF is 220 sine
100 pi.
100 pi t to is to be applied to a circuit containing an inductor of L is equal to 1 by pi Henry. Okay.
They are asking for
Write an
instantaneous
equation
current.
for instantaneous current. I is equal to I naught and the Mari format sin omega t format through the circuit. What will be the reading of the AC ammeter if connected in the circuit? Okay. So what has been given? You know what is E naught from this? E naught itself is 220 volts. You know omega from this is 100 pi. Omega itself is 100 pi radians per second. And what are they asking you, sir?
Instantaneous current.
Instantaneous current is I is equal to I naught sine omega t only, no? And you know I naught is E naught by I naught it's equal to E naught by XL. Correct? So 220 by XL is L omega. 1 by pi into omega is 100 pi. Pi and pi get cancelled. This and this 2.2. Did you write? Did you write 2 by 2 sine 100 pi t? Just copy the same omega pi and everywhere and just write it.
They're asking what will
Okay.
be the ammeter.
Okay, one second. You're going to switch off the AC? Switch off here also. Switch off the AC. Here. But one thing we have to think about, no? We have written some value. Should we be writing that this is an inductor? In inductor, should it be lagging behind? It starts with a letter I. So it will be lagging behind EMF. So should I show that it is going to be lagging behind? Or what should be the answer that I should write? We can't write it like this because, you know, when you use an inductor with an AC, the current is going to be lagging behind the EMF. So you have to use a minus pi by 2. So you know I naught and you know sine omega t minus pi by 2 should be a final answer. Just plug in and write a minus pi by 2. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you understood very, very simple sums. Okay, let's go to next question.
What will be the ammeter reading they have asked?
What will be the ammeter reading? Ammeter reads only IRMS value. An AC ammeter will read only a IRMS value, which is I naught by root 2. I naught is 2.2 by root 2, therefore 1.556. So just get to know that ammeter always reads a IRMS value. Let's go to next question, 14th question.
They are given an inductor of 200 milli.
So I think we'll skip all this. Some sort of pretty straightforward. I'm sure would have understood all this. So let's do something which is a little tougher. Anything tougher is there here? 16th, example 16. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. In terms of capacity.
Example 16 in terms of capacitor. A capacitor of 1 microfarad. So C is equal to 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad.
Connected to an AC source of
EMF
EMF 250 sine
250 sine 100 pi t. And you know in capacitor current is going to be ahead. So when you do that, you should make sure your final answer is getting switched. Okay. So you know this is your E naught. Correct? E naught itself is 250. And with this you can find I naught. I naught is E naught by XC.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so E naught is 250 by XC is 1 by C omega. C itself is 1 into, so it's going to go up. 250 into 1 into 10 to the power minus 6 into omega. Omega இருக்கிறதுல what is there is 100 pi. So this is what you get, and thus this will give you the value of I naught, which will be, this is a 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power minus 4, 25 into 10 to the power minus 3, pi. What are they writing? Did they get, did they get
They don't give the value of
omega? They didn't give the value of omega, 100 pi. From this, it's there, na?
yes, ma'am.
So what is omega? Omega is 100 pi. So I'm substituting in omega.
Yeah, I the equation.
So what I've got is I naught, because when I without I naught I can't write the equation, correct? So I've written what is I naught, and you know that in the capacitor circuit it has to be I is equal to I naught sine omega t plus pi by 2, correct? So what is I naught? It's 25 pi. Should I multiply
We are
3
doing
point?
something wrong.
No, we are not doing anything. 3.14. Inga va. 25 fours are 100, 25 ones are 25, 35, 20, 75. So 7850. 78.50 into 10 to the power minus 3 into sine omega is 100 pi t plus pi by 2. So they have ignored the decimals and they've written it as 0.078. Perfect. Sine 100 pi t plus pi by 2. Did they get pi by 2? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's so simple, right? So IRMS is equal to I naught by root 2. This is your I naught, which is 0.0785 by root 2 will give you your IRMS value, which is the actual reading on the ammeter. So what else you want? So rest of it you can do, just turn the page and locate some other sum. So similar sums we can ignore. So you next what we
This
need,
one, impedance.
it's not the in portion. If it's a CR circuit and LR circuit, it's not the in
No.
portion. So you have to go
LCR.
only directly to LCR and we'll do sums only in LCR. So we're straight away going to example 37, where determine the impedance Z is what they're asking
For an LCR
for an LCR circuit where L is 250 ohms and
reactance of C and L are given
oh,
as 250 and
okay, L கிடையாது L-னா ஹென்ரியில் இருக்கும். So XL is 250 ohms, XC is 220 ohms, and R is 40 ohms. So you got XL, XC, and R. They're asking for impedance. You know, Z is equal to root of XL minus XC the whole square plus R square, provided XL is greater than XC. Remember the vector resolving we did? There will be XL, this is R, and this is XC. Considering that XC is lesser vector, you'll get XL minus XC. Otherwise, it will get reversed. But doesn't matter anyway, it's going to be squared. No, not resonance. This is what we get. Right. So then, therefore, this is impedance, which is root of XL minus XC the whole square plus R square. And this will be phase difference tan phi, it will be R by Z. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So then, therefore, what is that? They are only asking for this value. Just plug in those and find the answer. It will be 50 ohms. Let's go to next question. Example 38. A resistor of 50 ohms.
An inductor of
XL is equal to 20 by pi Henry.
no,
Huh?
it says
L. Look at the unit and decide. Okay, if it's L.
20 by pi and capacitor of 5 by pi microfarad
5 by
C.
pi microfarad. Yeah.
connected in series to a voltage source of 230 volts.
So voltage is, always take it as ERMS, which is 230 volts when LCR circuit, and the frequency is 50 hertz. Find the impedance of the circuit. You know, okay, L by pi, C by pi. Okay, doesn't matter. Impedance is always root of
R square
XL minus XC the whole square plus R square. That's all is the impedance. So what is XL is L omega. Okay, 20 by pi into what is L, and 20 L omega is 2 pi mu
50 hertz.
Okay, pi and pi get cancelled, minus XC is C omega. C is 5 by pi into omega is again 2 pi into 50.
Yes,
And this whole thing has to be whole square plus R square, which is 50 the whole square. So just do this calculation. You know, the pi and pi get cancelled. Just do the calculation, get answer. There's nothing much. Okay, what is next?
Next is they have drawn a circuit.
They've drawn a circuit, example 39. Okay, where you have a capacitor here, and you have an inductor here, and you have a voltmeter here, and you have an ammeter here, and you have a 90-volt supply here, and AC supply,
supply.
AC supply here, and you have a resistor of
45
45 ohms. Okay. Okay, what are they asking? What will be the reading in the voltmeter and ammeter of the circuit shown? Okay, you know that here there is a C, there is an L, and there is also an R, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's a voltmeter which has been connected in parallel to the supply source. Okay, so then you treat this as a normal LCR circuit only. And so then R is Z is equal to root of R square plus XL minus XC the whole square. In this, if you see, XL is a value and this 4, XL and XC are same. So it's getting XL minus XC is getting cancelled. Only R is remaining. So IRMS is equal to ERMS by R directly. Correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the reading on the voltmeter is what they're asking, and you know that the voltmeter is connected
IRMS.
parallel to, it's connected in parallel to the XL minus XC. Okay, XL,
And it is
because okay, it's connected in parallel with LNC.
that
So you know that the voltage in C and R is nothing but XL minus XC into I, where XL XC of 4, so the current flowing here is 0.
Zero.
Therefore, the current flowing to the voltmeter will also be 0. Correct? And therefore, the reading on the voltmeter will be 0. I mean, potential. There's no potential because here itself current flowing is 0. Why current flowing is 0? IR. Correct. I into IRMS into XL minus XC. XL and XC are cancelled. IRMS itself is 0, which shows that
the total current is
current, there's no current through here, and so there's no potential difference between this N and this N, and so the voltmeter will also show 0 volt reading as a voltmeter. Are you clear? Not tough sum only. Next. Next is example 47. It's such a huge sum. Let's do it. Okay, patiently. 25 microfarad. C is equal to 25 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad.
0.10 Henry
0.10 Henry inductor L.
and a resistor of 25 ohms.
R is equal to 25 ohms.
And it is series with AC.
So all LCR series. Okay.
They have given a general
E is
EMF
equal to
equation,
310 sine 314
T.
T. It's like sine omega T. So omega itself is 314. Omega itself is 2 pi mu is equal to 314. 2 into 3.14 into mu is equal to 314. This and this get cancelled as 100. So this and this get cancelled 50. So mu is equal to 50. Okay. What is
What is
that?
the frequency of the
And we just got 50 hertz.
What is the reactance of the circuit?
Which reactance?
This is the reactance.
So we have to find XL and XC. XC is equal to 1 by C omega and XL is equal to L omega. You know omega's value is 314. Just plug in the respective values of L and C and get the answer.
Yes, ma'am.
And make sure you're writing answers in ohms. What is next?
What is the reactance of the circuit? Means you have to add both the XL and XC.
Reactance of the circuit? Which means they're asking us to find the impedance. Oh, net reactance is XL minus S. So you know that they're asking you to find the net reactance, which will be XL minus XC or XC minus XL, whichever is bigger, whichever value is bigger. You know, when you calculate, you will know. So that's known as the net reactance, which will be given in ohms. Then they're asking for impedance. You know the formula. Z is equal to root of XL minus XC the whole square plus R square. Just substitute the values, you get that.
Fine. What is the current in the circuit?
Effective current, when they ask you current in the current, I effective is nothing but IRMS. IRMS is equal to ERMS by Z. You found the Z value, you know ERMS is, no, this is E naught. So you find ERMS. What is what is given? ERMS was given?
No.
So you ERMS
This
is
is ER.
no, E naught. So ERMS is equal to E naught by root 2, 310 by root 2. That is the value that you need to plug in here with the Z plugged in. And you'll get the answer. Next.
What is the phase angle of the current by which it lags or leads?
Yeah, which means they're asking for tan phi. Okay, you know from the graph, it's like this, and this is your phi, which will be opposite by adjacent. When you do tan phi, opposite will be XL minus XC, and adjacent will be R. So tan phi is equal to XL minus XC by R. You would know what is XL, you know what is XC from these calculations, subtracted and divided by R. Is that what he has done? Yeah. Next.
Next is what is the expression or instantaneous value of current?
Instantaneous value means
current. The equational equation.
I know, yeah, I not sin omega t, that one. So எங்க போட்டிருக்கு? இல்ல answer.
What is the expression of instantaneous value of current?
Okay, so you know it has written as I is equal to I naught sin omega t plus phi, because there is a phi here. They've asked for phi, so therefore
That's a
this
phase
phi.
difference.
So you have to plug this in. So then I naught is what? What is I naught's value?
3.
Here is E naught's value is there. So E naught by Z. At
Open up
resonance,
file.
are they giving at resonance? The word resonance is there.
No, ma'am.
Instantaneous value, that's all, no? So you know that you can write what is I naught. I naught, did you get IRMS?
Yes,
So root 2 times IRMS will be I naught. Root 2 times this value, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Into sine omega t. Omega is 314. 314 t plus whatever this
Phi.
value, phi value that you get. That's what is a concept. I hope you can see it and understand whatever I've done. Correct?
What is the effective voltage across the capacitor?
Effective means ERMS. Across the capacitor, across the inductor, and
resistor.
individual voltages they're asking.
Hmm.
So, you know, the voltage across the capacitor is IRMS into XC. Voltage across the inductor will be IRMS into XL. Voltage across the resistor will be IRMS into R. Okay. IRMS into I effective into XL. Correct?
Yes,
So just multiply that and you'll get that. What is next question?
Construct a vector diagram for these voltages. So they are asking a phasor diagram.
Okay, here when you calculate, incidentally, the XL will be XC will be greater than XL. So therefore, the graph will not be like this. It will be in the third quadrant, and this will be your tan phi, because XC is greater than XL, and so then the resultant voltage will be XC minus XL in this direction. And so you understood.
Yes,
so that this is the phasor diagram that you need to draw. What is the next part?
What is the value of inductance will make the impedance of the circuit minimum?
Impedance Z has to be minimum. Listen, no, impedance is Z, which is root of XL minus XC the whole square plus R square. If this has to be minimum, look at
What
this.
is the value?
XL should be equal to XC.
At resonance,
you know, what are they asking?
Minimum value of what should be the value of inductance which will make the impedance minimum?
L omega is equal to 1 by C omega. So L is equal to 1 by C omega square. What should be the inductance in this case? That's a question. So if you know what is the capacitance, capacitor value, 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad. 2 into 10 to the power minus 6 farad, and omega is nothing but 314. So 314 the whole square, and that calculated value will be the inductor's value. Is it correct?
Yes, ma'am.
He would have done something. You just do what strikes you. That's all.
No, it's the same thing.
Same thing. Okay. Okay. So what's next question? Let's go to this sum. This example 48 is the world's most important sum, where there is an XL and a frequency. And the thing is, this is 20, this is 40, and this is 60. And this graph is 100, 200, and 300 in hertz. Okay.
Calculate the self-inductance of the inductor.
So L omega. So they're asking L is equal to XL by omega. Omega itself is 2 pi mu. So you can plug in the mu value respectively. And XL value, you know, when XL is 20, 2 pi into 100. Correct?
Getting you at what instant?
Calculate the self inductance. It's linear, no? It will be constant. Okay, this will be 10. And this will be 1 by 10 pi. 1 by 10 pi, L is Henry. Kuduthirukana?
Yes, 1 by 10
10 pi Henry. Done. Next time.
When this inductor is used in a series with a capacitor of unknown value and a resistor.
So you have an LCR circuit in which
resistor of 10 ohms.
Resistor is of 10 ohms.
At 300 seconds.
300 per second, yes, which means frequency, because reciprocal of time
1 by
period
t
is
equal to frequency.
Therefore, you should understand that what has been given is mu. Correct?
Hmm.
Uh,
Maximum power dissipated across the circuit.
when the inductor is in, what should be the capacitance? Capacitance value you don't know.
Yes.
Inductance value is 1 by pi. Correct? 1 by 10 pi Henry. Okay, resistance value is 10 ohms.
Condition is when the maximum power dissipated after the
When
circuit.
will the maximum power will come when maximum current is there? Maximum current will
Then
occur at
resonance.
resonance. Correct? Therefore, what do you want to know?
Capacitance of the capacitor.
So you know XL is equal to XC. Yeah, L omega is equal to 1 by C omega. So you want to find C? Take it that side. C omega is equal to 1 by L omega, omega square. So C is equal to 1 by L into omega square. You know L's value, and omega is 2 pi mu. The corresponding L value and corresponding mu value, you know,
Yes,
from the
ma'am.
graphs, just
That's
substitute.
what I mean.
Okay, such a simple sum. Next is
Q factor.
Q factor. I told you by definition what is Q factor. Q factor, another name is called sharpness of resonance. Sharpness of resonance is defined as omega naught by 2 delta omega. Remember the dance, omega naught mean position
Bandwidth.
by bandwidth. But Q factor can also be defined as the same thing, omega naught by 2 delta omega, or you can also define it as voltage across the inductor by voltage across the resistor, where I and I get cancelled, inductive reactance L omega by R. But you can't use this because in this sum they haven't given what is LR. So then therefore you have to stick to, they've given frequency, so you should understand that Q factors refers here to sharpness of resonance. What is the mean frequency is the average. They're given 2, just take it and divide it. Have they given mean frequency? Yeah, 800 is the mean frequency. Resonance frequency is a mean frequency. And the either sides you have 745 and 855. So you know it's the bandwidth you can subtract the 745 from 850. 855 minus 745 will give you 110 hertz. That will be 2 delta omega itself. You know that, right? But only thing is what it's in hertz. So you should multiply this with a 2 pi. So that you'll get it in terms of
Angle.
and omega. Okay, so then, but they left it in hertz, just leave it in hertz. 110 hertz is 2 delta omega.
And they have asked the
Okay.
bandwidth.
So in fact, you write it 2 delta mu. Don't write it omega. When you write omega, it will be angular velocity, right? Angular frequency.
They asked
So,
the bandwidth.
you're asking?
Bandwidth.
So bandwidth is the gap between these two, which is already found, 110 hertz. What is it? They're asking for quality factor, which is the mean frequency, which is 800 by 855 minus 745 will give you the quality factor. Done. Next term. So the definition for Q factor, I'm reminding you once again, it's the actual power by apparent power. Actual power by apparent power is ERMS into IRMS. Okay, so actual power is EI. So EI by, this is what is called Q factor. What next?
Power factor.
No, that's power factor. Q factor is sharpness of resonance. Power factor is cos phi, which is defined as actual
IRMS into
actual power by
into
apparent power.
into
Cos phi.
cos phi we have written. P.
So actual power by apparent power is what is called power factor. I'm sorry. So don't confuse yourself. Have they asked questions about power factor? No, no. Okay. So this Q factor is different. Okay. Next.
Which is energy associated with the pure inductor.
So let's take an ideal inductor and we're going to find the power associated with the ideal inductor. It's not going to dissipate. Ideal inductor connected to an AC does not dissipate any power. Prove that. We have to prove that it's not dissipating any power. Remember that I'm recording. Remember that power is I square RT.
Yes, ma'am.
I square is I naught square since I naught sin omega t. No, I square I is P is equal to VI. So it's E naught sin omega t plus phi and I naught sin omega t. So I wrote it as E naught into I naught into sin omega t plus phi naught into sin omega t, multiplying and dividing by 2. You get this as E naught by root 2 into I naught by root 2 into multiplying by 2. This will be cos A minus B, which is cos omega t plus phi minus omega t is cos phi. Minus cos A minus B minus cos A plus B, which is cos 2 omega t plus phi naught. Okay, so this is what you get, and you need to integrate this for a time period 0 to entire cycle. What are they saying? Are they saying Did I say for the entire time period? Capital T. Correct? This is
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
become 0.
Hmm.
And E naught by root 2 into I naught by root 2 into cos phi is a constant into dt will be there. No. So it will become just T.
T.
So you know this is P is equal to ERMS into IRMS into cos phi. And what is this? P by T. This is actually heat, not power.
Yes, ma'am.
Power means T has to come.
Hmm.
So H is equal to, so H by T. H by, bring the T down.
H by
So ERMS into IRMS, which is nothing but P is equal to ERMS into IRMS into cos phi. And you know for pure inductor circuit, it's minus 90 or plus 90, plus or minus 90. So when you put that itself, your power dissipated is 0. What is wrong in saying this? You tell me. Okay, so example 50. Example 50, a light bulb is rated
100
power is 100 watts and the rated voltage is 220 volts.
Connected.
Find the
Resistance
resistance of the bulb. So R. So you know, we know that formula P is equal to V square by R.
R.
Correct?
Hmm.
So just cross multiply, get the value of R. That's it. Next.
Peak voltage.
Peak voltage. Okay. Now whatever voltage they give, you have to take it as RMS.
Hmm.
So peak voltage means
VRMS
V naught is
by
equal to root 2 into VRMS. Just do that, you get the answer. Next.
IRMS.
IRMS is P is equal to VI and P is 100 watts, correct? V is VRMS. Yeah, 220.
Yes.
So then therefore IRMS you write. IRMS is therefore 100 by 220, correct?
Hmm.
Is it given?
Yes, 100 by 2.
So then that's about it. Next.
A capacitor and resistor are connected.
Example 51 is it? Example 51, a capacitor and resistor CR circuit. Not there in portions.
Yes.
Okay. If it's LCR, you tell me. Yeah, you have a sum here. It's an LCR circuit. 52nd example 52. So in the following circuit, calculate the capacitance of the capacitor. If the power factor,
It's unity.
power factor
will
means
be
cos
unity.
cos phi, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Cos phi is 1, means phi has to be
At resonance.
0, which means there's no phase difference. This will occur only at resonance. Excellent. When XL is equal to XC. So you can find omega. What are they asking? They haven't, same thing, you know, XL is equal to XC. L omega is equal to 1 by C omega. They want capacitor's value, just cross multiply and get the value. Next.
Q factor of the circuit.
Q factor is 1 by root, or you know that it's 1 by R into root of L by C. Remember this formula? So Q factor, what is Q factor? Other is voltage across the inductor by voltage across the resistor. So this is L omega by R. Omega itself is root of omega square is 1 by LC. Omega is equal to 1 by root of LC. So L by R into 1 by root of LC. So it's 1 by R into root of L by C. So that's what is Q L by C. So you know L, C, R. Just get the Q factor. What next?
Angular frequency. That's at to be given the angle frequency at AC is supposed to be 100. Given the angular, if the angular frequency is 100.
Okay.
100
Omega is equal to 100 hertz. So frequency mu is equal to 100. That's all. 100 per second. So what you're given mu hertz. What do they want? Calculate the average power in the circuit. Is it?
Average power dissipated in the circuit.
Whatever it is, we found the phi is equal to 0 first itself. So it's still at resonance. So what do you want? The average power? Power, you know, same formula. Power is B square by VRMS square by R. You know RMS square and so they have given two graphs. One is this, another is this, and they're saying what should be the current element. This in which this is frequency and this is current, and this is frequency and this is current. You know that current is a constant only when it's purely resistive circuit, and the frequency is linearly increasing, not inversely, directly proportional with the. Then it has to be okay. Wait a minute, I have to think. Okay, you know XL is L omega. So XL is inversely proportional to I. So shouldn't this be capacitance? You understood my question? Xc is equal to 1 by C omega. Here current is increasing with frequency. When the frequency is increasing, the reactance will decrease and the current will increase only in the case of Xc and not XL. So you check the answer if it's capacitance.
Purely inductor.
Purely inductor because the opposition to the current is directly proportional to
Frequency.
okay.
XL is equal to L omega, omega is equal to 2 pi f.
XL is equal to L omega, omega is equal to 2 pi
f
f.
and L are direct proportional.
But what is this? This is current. It's not current, is it? Which means it's not current.
With increasing frequency,
Increasing frequency,
current
is increasing. It's not current. That's what. Just read the question properly.
opposition to XL, opposition.
Opposition to current,
Reactance.
not current. Opposition to current means it is the reactance. So the reactance is increasing linearly only when for XL is equal to L omega. Frequency increases, XL also increases linearly. Opposition to current means reactance is not just current. So make sure you're writing the right answers. Okay, let's go to next question. They'll ask you graphs such as this. I'll tell you inductive reactance versus Xc versus omega. Xc is equal to 1 by C omega, so it will be like this. Okay, then they'll ask you XL versus omega of frequency. You know, is XL is equal to L omega, so it will be linear. Are you clear with all this? And so, what else I can say? There is one more graph which is so damn important. And then is page number 7.65. Okay, in which there is a graph which has been given like this. You see, this is between impedance Z and frequency F, where it's like this, and it's like this, and it goes linear like this here. It will be linear and it will be parabolic, which shows that this will be for capacitance and this will be for inductance. At this part, in this side, actually it's more for capacitance and this side is for inductance. You agree with me? And this is the point at which inductance is Z is minimum, which stands for it's just purely resistive. What have they given? F is equal to FR.
FR at resonance.
At resonance. At when it will be resistance cannot be in the graph, so obviously it will be resonance frequency. Okay, so this is the graph. Do you understand? Left side of it is parabolic,
Yes,
right side
ma'am.
of it is inductive. Correct? You know that it's impedance graph, right? Impedance is root of XL minus XCD whole square plus R square, which is XL is L omega minus 1 by C omega the whole square plus R square. Can you see here? This is XL Z versus
F.
F or 2 pi mu, whatever. And when it's lesser, the frequency is some decimal value. The frequency is some decimal value. uh, Frequency, I really don't know. Sorry. Let me not explore this. It's for an LCR circuit. When they give you a graph like this, you know that it's parabolic here and straight line like this. That shows that this is capacitive Xc is greater and the right side XL has been greater. What was the question? Mention the factors on which the resonant frequency of the LCR circuit depends on. Plot a graph showing the variation of impedance of an LCR circuit with the frequency of the applied AC source. So this is the graph for an LCR circuit. If you're going to do Z versus frequency, this is the way you have to draw. You have to mark this graph. Are you clear? That's it. What is next? So this question will come. This was in problem number 3 in HOTS. Problem number 3 in HOTS. Okay, next is this problem number 4 in HOTS, where you have an inductor and you have a bulb. Okay, now it's connected to a DC and the switch. There is you're placing an iron core inside the solenoid or an what is it called? Inductor. The inductance will increase. So inductance will increase, which means resistance is going to increase. So most of the voltage will be taken away by this, and so only less voltage will go on. So bulb will glow less dim. That's the question.
What will you observe when switch is closed?
Correct. So the bulb will glow dim.
How will the
Glow of the bulb change when the battery is okay? Now it's no more DC. It's going to be AC. So is the dim light correct? Glow will decrease.
Yes, ma'am.
No, that's for the second part. When the switches is closed, the glow of the bulb gradually increases. till it becomes maximum. Okay, because in a DC, sorry, extremely sorry, guys, just listen. This is a DC source. Do you know XL is equal to L omega?
Yes, ma'am.
And for DC, omega is 0. Therefore, XL itself becomes 0, which means it is becoming offering no resistance. It behaves like a plain wire. When it behaves like a plain wire, it will go with a maximum brightness. But when you connect it to an AC, when you connect the same circuit to an AC only, what happens is you will have L omega, which will offer some impedance, so some amount of voltage drop will be here itself, so it will start growing dim. Are you clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that an inductor behaves like a simple wire when you connect it to DC?
Yes,
Why? Because XL is equal to L omega, omega itself is 0, so it's not going to offer any resistance, and so it behaves like a simple wire. Let's go to next question. Next question. And that's correct. Let's go to next question.
Evolution.
I think that will do. And these graphs, this graph, it's problem number 7. Problem number 7 in HOTS is very, very important. Okay, can you see this graph? We have to see the graph and identify. The voltage graph has got more amplitude, and it's a sine graph like this. Okay, the current graph is lagging behind. I'm going to do it in different color. And they've given like this. It's lagging behind and also lesser amplitude, correct? Lagging behind and also lesser amplitude. They've given a graph like this. As you can see that if this is maximum, at the point it's maximum, is it coming to 0? Just see. Is it coming at the point it's maximum? Is it coming to 0? The clarity you don't have in the graph? Okay, for a series LCR circuit connected, sinusoidal AC graph has been given, where omega is greater than 1 by root of LC. So omega is greater than 1 by root of LC. Omega is not equal to 1 by root of LC, which means it's not at resonance. So it will be 1 will be high ahead, whatever that is. So in this you can see the amplitude of EMF is always greater. But which is ahead? EMF is ahead, which shows that this is definitely an inductor circuit. Correct? It's a question about identifying this inductor situation.
Give reason why omega is greater than 1 by root of LC.
Okay, you know it's inductive circuit, correct? As soon as you see this, for that matter, you know, because this current and this is voltage. Yeah, EMF leads. So I assume that this is an inductive circuit. And in an inductive circuit, for omega is greater than 1 by root of LC.
But they are given for an LCR circuit.
For an LCR?
The graph is for LCR.
So which means it's not, then it's not at pi by 2. It's at 5. Good question. In that case, it will be 5, not pi by 2. Pi by 2 is only for an exclusive L or a C.
Exclusive.
Otherwise, it will be only 5. And so it's not exactly at 90 degree, it will be somewhere else. Don't think it's at 90 degree. What else you can infer from it? This circuit is inductive. Whatever we wrote is correct. This is definitely inductive circuit. So the voltage is ahead of, the situation corresponds. They can't call it purely inductive unless there's a pi by 2 change.
The phase
Has to be pi by 2. If it's pi by 2, you can call it inductive. Otherwise, you can't call it it's more inductive. You can say it's more inductive in a LCR circuit. We can't say it's purely inductive. It's more inductive. Are you clear? Next. There's one more graph, is it? We didn't even see the second graph, right?
This a current is leading voltage.
Next graph, current is simply leading voltage. And current is leading, then it has to be capacitive, correct? What is that for LCR circuit? Identify the graph. Oh, which of these graphs? So basically, they've given one more graph in this thing video. I mean, in the sum, where the current is like this ahead, correct? And the voltage is lagging behind, something like this. So which one has got omega is greater than 1 by LC is the question. See, when omega, they've given two graphs, first graph and second graph. We have to identify in which of the graph omega will be greater than 1 by root of LC. I just taught you a graph where in an LCR circuit, it was like this and it was like this
Yes, ma'am.
with the minimum frequency here, which was at
R.
resonance frequency, remember? So in this, it was XC was dominant, in this XL was dominant. So the more the frequency, which is getting dominant?
XL.
So if omega is greater only for an XL.
Inductor circuit.
From this graph, you know that the omega will be greater for inductive circuit. So omega is greater than 1 by root of LC is applicable only for, from this graph, you can say that it is applicable only for an inductive circuit. Okay. So then therefore, what should I say?
A will be the answer.
Okay. Yeah. So
Voltage
you
will
understood.
lead the current.
Superb. Next question. எவ்வளோ தூரம் சொல்றது கிராஃப் எல்லாம் எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்டலி டிரைவ்டு எக்ஸ்பெரிமெண்டலாக கிடைச்ச கிராஃப் இது அதுலேருந்து ஒன்றும் புரியுது ஃப்ரீக்வன்சி ஹையாக இருந்தால்
That is
இண்டக்டிவ்
fine, ma'am. They have asked to write the graph for this using this equation. If they didn't know, how will they write?
So frequency is equal to, now you have to mug up this first of all, and you know that
Is there a format?
no, there's no, from this how can you write this, how can you do this graph unless you memorize this, unless you memorized it, correct? And what is this? This is impedance, right?
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying you should do only with this. Z is equal to root of XL minus XC the whole square plus R square. You know, if XL is greater, here it will be L omega minus 1 by C omega the whole square. Where if this value has to be greater, this value has to be lesser, which means this value has to be greater.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct?
Yes,
If
omega for capacitor is greater, then the whole value will be lesser.
This will be greater, L omega, provided L omega is large, L is larger. So don't even consider this. L has to be larger for this.
L has to be larger, omega has to be lesser.
Yeah, L has to be larger, then that's when Z will be larger and omega will also be larger. Just don't confuse yourself, just mug up that graph, okay?